plaintiffs, Belinda Rowland and her husband Kent, say when they met the defendant, they thought she was responsible and intelligent, but she turned out to be a dishonest party girl. Kent claims they paid the defendant to train their horse, but she didn't, so they're suing. Defendant Bailey Lindsay says the plaintiffs have no room to talk about her lifestyle when they allow underage drinking in their home. Bailey's countersuing the plaintiffs for unreturned property.
Start with you all.
Yeah. Your Honor, when we met Bailey, it was several months ago, and when I first met her, she seemed to be a very responsible young lady, very nice. She seemed to have a lot going on with her, seemed to be intelligent. As time went on, we learned that she's nothing more than a party girl and doesn't know how to tell the truth.
Where'd you learn that from, about her party?
We actually had her in our home. She moved in with us rent-free for several months, and during the course of the time that she was in there, just for her actions and the things that she did and said.
Doing?
Well, as an example, something as very simple as saying, I'm going to run off to the store and I'll be right back at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and she doesn't come home till 2 or 3 in the morning.
Okay, what makes you think she's a party?
She has admitted to our grandson.
Okay, because they have midnight church service, and they have 24-hour church service, in fact,
Yeah.
in Detroit.
So she's admitted to our grandson.
You can pray until like 3 a.m. for sure.
Yeah.
Particularly on New Year's Eve, you just don't go to church. You don't know whether this woman was partying. You just don't go to church. If you went to church, you wouldn't necessarily conclude she was partying.
Well,
right? You weren't partying, were you?
That's very true.
You go to church, don't you?
Yes.
Thank you. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Well, Your Honor, when we first met Bailey.
I ain't playing with God. I'm just asking questions, very basic questions.
Absolutely. When we first met Bailey, we have horses, and she was introduced to us as an equestrian, and that she had a lot of skills, and we have a horse that hadn't been ridden in a year due to my wife being laid up and not able to ride that horse.
Defendant Bailey Lindsay was paid to train the plaintiff's horse, but they claim Bailey failed to do the job and turned out to be a dishonest party girl.
Go ahead.
So Bailey indicated that she had the skills to perform what we needed to have done on the horse, which was basically a spring tune-up and put some riding hours on the horse to where it was used to being ridden again. She had the opportunity to look over the horse and said that she could definitely do the job.
All right, before we get to what happened on the job, let me get some background from her.
Sure.
Young lady.
I don't understand how they call me a party girl. Their grandson has smoked pot. He also, they
How
allow
old is
Aaron.
he?
He's 18. They allow him to drink at the house also. So I've been independent since I've been 17, so I understand why they see him wild. I just kind of do things on my own. I've always been taught that. I met them and they seemed really nice people. I said they would help with the horse, but fortunately the weather didn't play a very good play in that. It got really hot this summer, and that can damage the horses. They can get heat strokes just like people, so I just...
Okay, so you're saying something happened when she was attending to the horse, sounds like?
No, nothing happened to the horse.
So why don't you tell me what did happen?
Okay. Well, Your Honor, we agreed on a price of $175.
Once again, what was the extent of her services?
To just put some time on the horse and get the horse used to riding and working again. Kind of
training? Training?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Training of sorts.
Reminding the horse of their manners.
Yeah.
Basically.
And I have copies of the check that we
okay, and what did she do wrong? Or failed to do?
She didn't do anything.
We agreed that she had some financial concerns at the time, and we agreed to pay the $175 up front.
And how long was she working, if at all, on the horse?
This was in April, and she said the horse would be completed by the end of May.
Completely trained, you're saying?
Well,
yes, sir.
Completely what?
Yeah.
I keep saying trained, and you keep interrupting as if it's not training. What services was she supposed to provide?
Okay. What we call spring training is getting the horse out, making sure that they're not going to pull on a bit when they're being ridden.
Training them not to pull on the bit. What else?
Not buck, not kit.
Not buck, not kit. Training them not to do that.
Yes, sir.
Let's get back. Training is what you paid her to do. So she was to complete that training when?
She indicated that she would have it done by the end of May.
End of May, what happened?
Well, a couple of days after we made this agreement, she came back to us and indicated that she was having some family issues and had to move out of her
So she didn't do
residence. I'm sorry, sir?
She didn't attempt to train him?
That
She
is
went
correct.
out maybe twice.
And so that's why you want your money back.
Yes.
Ma'am,
Yes.
Yes.
tell me about, you
I
want to respond or
actually
not?
worked with the horses a couple times. I just couldn't do it with Belinda breathing down my neck. The horse wouldn't listen to me.
So you did quit?
I did kind of quit, but also the weather was really bad. It was 90 degrees.
When you mean kinda, what do you mean by kinda?
I just
It's
couldn't
either
keep.
one or the other. Either you quit or you stay on the job.
I
don't know
couldn't
what
figure
that
out a
means.
time
Pardon?
where it was cool enough and cool down enough for a horse that wouldn't oversweat or overheat.
Ma'am, how many days did you spend tending to the horse?
Um,
How long after getting, he says 2 days later you told him you didn't want to do it. Is that true or not?
no,
Did you ever tell him you didn't want to do it anymore?
no.
Okay, so what did happen to the job?
I said there was complications that I might have to postpone because of my family issues.
And you were telling him, so therefore you can't do it anymore.
Yes.
Didn't I just ask you, did you ever tell him you couldn't do it?
I
And your
did.
answer was no, I never told him that. Judgment for the plaintiff, you contradicted yourself right within 30 seconds. Judgment for the plaintiff, your claim is dismissed. Have a good day.